I call the Honourable Shane Jones. Tēnā koe.
Kia ora no tātou. Sir, firstly I want to support a tiny part of what the previous speaker said, i.e. Mr John Carter, that long-suffering representative of Tai Tokerau, or should I say Northland, and he has demonstrated in my case that the person to beat him from my side of the House is yet to be born. And so I say that with a fair level of affection because he has been a very diligent local MP since the 1980s after he replaced Mr Austin in rather controversial circumstances at the time, but things all move on, etc. Unfortunately, that's where I part company with the previous speaker because, sir, I'm actually disappointed that the Minister of Agriculture could stand and deliver such a pig-headed and arrogant speech. Now, sir, I know that he believes, sir, that he is the best Minister of Agriculture. He constantly derides Mr Anderton, sir, but Mr Anderton could call a meeting anywhere in this country and more people would show respect to Mr Anderton, sir, than that minister. Now, sir, what he actually demonstrated is why he and his colleagues, on the basis of this budget, they don't actually deserve to continue governing after the election. They believe, sir, as is evident through his superciliousness, that they had this born-to-rule, manner-derived, perpetual right to enjoy power. Now, sir, I accept that some of the metropolitan members of Auckland, who have recently declared war on Mayor Brown over his railway proposal, I'll come to that in a moment, I accept, sir, that they have a more balanced view than Mr David Parker. This is a man who is about to deliver, like Mr Joyce, sir, Mr Carter, deliver another subsidy, sir, in terms of water reform to a group they should be made to pay. Sir, if the state is going to allocate funds to develop water storage, water harvesting, the primary beneficiaries of that should be made to pay. Sir, in the context of the fisheries industry, when changes are made, the holders of those property rights pay. Why should the favoured cast of friends, sir, of Minister of Agriculture, Mr Carter in the South Island, expect to enjoy an open chequebook? Now, I accept, sir, Telecom as a consequence of this, not only of this budget, but also of Mr Joyce's meandering, sir, will get an open cheque as a consequence of an ill-conceived broadband proposal. But if you're going to open up water for wholesale exploitation, then those whose land values will rise remarkably, those whose production will grow significantly, ought to be made to pay their fair share. It is not acceptable, sir, that they all of a sudden, who have the ability to pay, who will enjoy a capital tax-free gain on their land, should gain access to a significant amount of the Crown's largesse in order to create water capacity. Now, sir, there is a brilliant opportunity there for the government to put into practice what they preach about the virtues of private enterprise. There was no commitment, sir, to facilitating the use of private enterprise capital, which is what really should underlie their proposal. Absolutely, sir, no desire to deal with the property right issue, which will arise, sir, I can assure you of that, once they start to treat water as a tradable property right with, sir, with a perpetual character to it. I can see now, sir, that the iwi will be the first to flee from this very timid and quite hopeless, in all honesty, sir, water forum that delivered something that was very quickly diluted by the Minister for the Environment anyhow. So, sir, this minister points to the budget that it provides a platform that's going to propel the development of agriculture. Well, on that particular point, sir, it represents, unless he's misled either himself or we've misconstrued what he said, there is a new subsidy amongst a group of New Zealanders who always, sir, will have us believe that they don't like subsidies. Well, I say, sir, if you're going to extend water infrastructure into the productive base of New Zealand's agricultural economy, make them pay their fair share. And, sir, I guarantee you, the moment that they move to give a private character to water, you are looking at the next route of seabed and foreshore politics. And it will be a route, sir, for any Māori group that supports that minister to further privatise water. So, sir, it's very disappointing that yet again, when we should be talking about the issues that afflict the daily lives of Kiwis, i.e. the absence of their savings, i.e. the cost of living, the absence of jobs, and, sir, no clear distillation of where are the new jobs going to come for the young Kiwis. It's certainly not going to come out of this budget. So I want to now turn my attention to the Minister of Transport, Stephen Joyce. Now, sir, there's a certain acronym that is applied to his style of politics, but for fear of joining the rather rude company of John Carter, I won't actually elaborate on the acronym. But, sir, this is a man who has sent hate mail to Auckland. This is a man who has said to those Aucklanders who enjoyed between 8 to 9 million rides on the train that he knows better than them, sir. This is a man who said, now I accept that, sir, a degree of confidence and a degree of robustness in politics is what you look for. But I think, sir, this guy, this minister, has completely overreached. Now, he has sent, I think, sir, which is a very disappointing and highly ideological and deeply personal response against the Aucklanders. Admittedly, sir, it was directed to Mayor Brown, but the reason he doesn't like Mayor Brown is that although, sir, they back the super city, they actually dislike the leader of the super city. So every time, sir, the leader of the super city wishes to follow through on his vision and actually develop, based on a vision for the future, an Auckland that can cope with the anticipated geometric rise, not only in people, but economic activity and the inevitable, sir, arrival of vehicles or the challenges of transport. So let's just see what he did. In this budget, sir, the Minister of Transport, after providing a gift, and good on them in Wellington, has stuck the ratepayers of Auckland with a $500 million bill. $500 million bill. The exact opposite has been done by David Carter, sir. He's actually seeking to distill a similar amount of money and hand it over as a gift to his friends in the South Island. Now, sir, that will not be permitted to go unimpeded by this side of the House. So, you've got a $500 million bill that Mr. Joyce has delivered. And then, sir, he claims all the credit for the electric trains, etc., which was a Labour policy. And, sir, what did he actually do and say after international experts had been secured by Mayor Brown in the super city? He said, sir, this could progress in terms of statutory designations if they paid for it, but the plan, sir, was one that he found distasteful. The plan, sir, was not one that fitted his vision of Auckland, and the plan, sir, would never be funded in the foreseeable future by his government. So that is why, sir, their polling is telling them that he and a number of his other colleagues are burning electoral support in Auckland. They're not burning electoral support, sir, because those voters in Strugglers Gully have given up on them. They gave up on them a long time ago. But they're now eating in, sir, to the core support of those Aucklanders, number one, who want a modern city, who want a modern transport system that includes rail, because they know, sir, the price of gas is going up. They know more Aucklanders need to use public transport, sir, so they can actually witness an improvement in the goods and services being moved around the city. And they want a city, sir, whose full potential will be realised in the next 30, 40, 50 years. And it's a tragedy, sir, that this budget is silent on that. It's conspicuous in that it's stung Aucklanders with the new $500 million bill, whilst at the same time, sir, delivering an unfathomable subsidy to Telecom, the corporate friends of the government, and a certain narrow caste of farmers known to Mr. Carter. So for that reason, the budget in a key area of transport infrastructure, which is a lifeline and an economic connector, fails, sir. And the sooner, sir, that more Aucklanders and more New Zealanders realise that this man, this transport minister, has a tunnel vision of what he sees as the future. And woe betide, sir, any politician or any, sir, member of the Auckland community that might try to challenge him. That's why, sir, his pig-headedness, rudeness and superciliousness is a sign of the past, and the sooner that he joins it, the better.